things like yoga gear, some yoga straps, some Evolution sweat towels that are available to win just by marking 5 of those off. So we are getting close to midway through October. If you haven't started that yet, you still have time to win maybe a nice cool Evolution sweat towel or maybe a strap or fun things like that. My other announcement for you is next Thursday, extending an invite out to you 7 to 9 at the Tap Room. Aim to Empower, which is our nonprofit sistered with Evolution, Aim to Empower. We have that poster out in the lobby. They're having a trivia night up at the Tap Room in Lancaster, 7 to 9 on Thursday. So we would love to see you there. Fun night to get together, maybe raise some money, just have some laughs and bond as outside of the studio. But that's all I have for you this morning. We can get started in child's pose then, bringing your feet together, knees going wide, forehead comes down onto the mat. A moment here first to get acquainted to the mat, to the air and the temperature around you. Notice the texture of your mat, maybe the towel that's laying on it. Here this Friday morning, we'll find an intention to have fun, to show up as yourself, to have fun with it, to not take it too seriously here this Friday morning. As you're here, find 3 nice steady breaths, each time inhaling a bit more, finding that pause at the top and matching with an exhale with a pause at the bottom. Find 2 more just like that, getting a nice long inhale, fully filling up. And a nice long matching exhale, emptying all out. Good. Last one, fill up. And let it all go. Downward facing dog. Curl your toes under. Send the hips back. This first downward dog, allowing any movement, maybe bending the knees, wiggling out the hips. Give yourself a bit more movement than you normally would. Play around with it. Bring the awareness to the shoulders. Beautiful. I see curling up of the shoulders, sending that chest back towards the thighs. Few more moments here. Again, stay with that Ujjayi breath, allowing it to fill up. Just checking in, letting any of those cracks. I see some head shaking. Beautiful. Find one more breath here. Fill up. And exhale. Tiptoe your feet up to your hands and hang in ragdoll. As you're here, let your head hang heavy. Send those hip bones up. Again, some movement side to side. Wiggle it out. Just a moment to check in our first ragdoll here this morning. We'll begin to create lots of space in our body. Here's just a chance to wake it up, get it integrated into the room and into your practice. Extended mountain. Inhale all the way up, hands up overhead. And exhale down to heart center. We'll begin class today with 3 ohms. Big breath in. Extended mountain, big inhale up and forward fold. Exhale it down. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, hands to mat. Flowing through upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Exhale it back. 3 breaths right here. Fill up and let it go. 2 more. Fill up and exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale and move forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain. Inhale all the way up. Gaze towards the fingers. Fold. Let it go. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Hands to mat. Flowing through upward facing dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale it back. 3 Ujjayi breaths here. Fill up and exhale. Good. 2 more. Last one. Fill up. Exhale and move forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain. Inhale all the way up. Gaze goes up. A pause. Forward fold. Exhale it down. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Hands to mat. Exhaling all the way down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 nice loud breaths in and out through the nose as we begin to build this inner fire. Beautiful. Last one. Fill up. Exhale and move forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain. Root to rise. Gaze goes up. Fold. Let it go. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Hands to mat. Upward facing dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale it back. 3 Ujjayi breaths. Fill up and let it go. Good. 2 more nice and strong breaths to help move from pose to pose. Last one. Fill up. Exhale and move forward. Our last sun A. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain. Rise all the way up. Big tall stretch. Fold. Let it go. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Hands to mat. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Fill up completely and let it go. Good. 2 more. Last one. Fill up. Exhale and move forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Inhale, arms up. Sit way on back. Fold. Let it go. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Hands to mat. Upward facing dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Right foot forward. Warrior one. Inhale all the way up. A pause. And we'll hold this here for a few moments. A moment first to check in with our warrior one this morning. So we're sinking deep into that front knee. We're working to move both hips towards the front of our mat. Beautiful. Find one more big breath in. Exhale all the way down. Perfect. We'll switch over to the other side. You can flow through upward facing dog, downward facing dog, left foot forward, warrior one. Yeah, inhale, rise on up. And again, a moment to first just check in with how it feels over here. We're working to move both those hips towards the front. Beautiful. Big breath in. Chaturanga. Exhale all the way down. Upward facing dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Let it all go. Again, 3 breaths. Fill up and release. Good. 2 more. Fill up and release. Last one. Fill up. Exhale and move forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Inhale, arms up. Sit way deep. Fold. Let it go. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Flowing through upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right foot forward. Warrior one. Inhale, rise up. A pause. Chaturanga. Exhale down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot forward. Warrior one. Inhale, rise up. Chaturanga. Exhale all the way down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Again, 3 breaths to fill up and to let it go. Good. 2 more. Last one. Exhale and move forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Inhale, arms up. Sit deep. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Hands to mat. Upward facing dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Right foot forward. Warrior 1. Inhale. Rise up. Chaturanga. Exhale. Hands to mat. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left foot forward. Warrior 1. Inhale. Rise up. Nice and strong. Chaturanga. Exhale all the way down. Good. Staying with this breath and movement connection. And we'll meet in downward facing dog for 3 community breaths. Fill up and let it go. Good. 2 more. Fill up and exhale. Last one. Exhale and move forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Inhale, arms up. Sit deep. Fold. Let it go. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right foot forward. Warrior 1. Inhale, rise up. Chaturanga, hands down. Good. Doing what you need for your body here. Left foot forward, warrior 1. Inhale, rise. Chaturanga, hands down. Upward facing dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale it back again. 3 breaths. Fill up and let it go. Good. 2 more. Fill up and release. Last one. Exhale and move forward. Our last sun B, halfway lift. Fold. Chair pose. Inhale, arms up. Sit deep. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, hands to mat. Upward facing dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale it back. Right foot forward. Warrior 1. Inhale, rise up. A pause. Chaturanga. Exhale down. Flowing through to the other side, however that looks for you. Maybe it's the chaturangas, maybe it's not. We have left side warrior. Beautiful. Flowing through. We'll meet in downward facing dog for 3 rejuvenating Ujjayi breaths here. Fill up and let it all go. 2 more. Fill up and release. Last breath. Fill up. Stay here, release it out. Beautiful. Right leg goes up. 3-legged dog. A moment here to feel that 3-legged dog, to lift that foot a little bit higher. Our brain likes to say, that's all. Lift it a little higher here, Friday. Beautiful. Bend your knee, open up the hip. Staying with your Ujjayi breath to create space. And if you're headed there, go ahead and flip your dog here this morning. If not, just working to keep that long leg, lots of action in that back leg. Beautiful. Hand comes down, side plank. Bringing that right hand down, left hand goes wide, side plank. Can take on lots of different variations, so we can have a knee down. You can have both legs out straight. You can play around with lifting that top leg, finding a full expression here, staying nice and strong with your breath. Beautiful. Hands to mat, chaturanga, flowing through, upward facing dog. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale it back. 3 breaths here. Fill up. Side out. 2 more like that. Fill up. Side out. Last one. Fill up. Side out. Left leg goes back. 3-legged dog. We're ready. A moment here to lift that leg just a little bit higher. Find your full expression. Bend your knee, open up your hip. Nice, staying with our breath. And if you're headed there, go ahead and flip your dog. Feet on 12 o'clock right when you land. Beautiful. And a few breaths here to find your full expression, to open up wide. Hand comes down, side plank. Again, stacking up however it looks for you, whether that's a knee on the ground, maybe both legs out straight. Maybe that top leg begins to rise up. Lots of flexed feet here. Beautiful. Both hands to the mat, chaturanga. Exhale down, flowing through upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Exhale it back. Again, just one breath here. Fill up and let it go. Right foot forward, crescent lunge. Sending that right foot forward. A chance when we first get here to check in. So we're pressing equally through both feet. We're working to stack that ankle over the ball of our back foot. A moment to check in with those hips. If you can easily send that knee over your toes, welcome a bit more space here this Friday morning. Big inhale to find the length in both sides. Exhaling to sink a little bit more into your lunge. One more like that. Big breath to find the length in your side. And exhale to sink a little more. Hands to heart center, revolving crescent lunge. Elbow comes down to the knee. And you can stay here working with your Ujjayi breath, allowing you to create some space. Or what might be available is the opening of the arms. You have 2 more breaths here to open up wide. Beautiful. Come on back into center, crescent lunge. Warrior 2, drop your back ankle. When you first get here, give yourself what you need. So if it's a straining of that leg, go ahead, do that. Give that breath. And now we're ready for our warrior 2. Sink deep. Again, that same breath work. Inhaling to find the length, maybe the length in the arms. Exhaling to sink a little bit more into the legs. Attention to that back edge of your foot. It's pressed into the mat. We're nice and strong. Good. One more breath. Inhale to find your length. Exhale to sink deep. Excellent. Extended side angle. Hand can come down to a shin, can come down to a block, wherever you're at. Welcoming space here today. Gaze might go up towards those fingertips. Good. Nice steady breaths here as we're in vitality on our left side. Both hands to the mat, chaturanga. Flowing through, upward facing dog. Big inhale, downward facing dog. Exhaling it back and letting it all go. We have 2 more here. Fill up, side out. Good. One more. Fill up, side out. Let it all go. And now we're ready. Left foot forward, crescent lunge. Again, a moment to first just check in with our foundation first. So those feet. Pressing equally through both. A moment to make sure we're stacking that ankle over the ball of our foot. And then crawling up, that back thigh is getting pressed to the ceiling. We're sinking deep into our front knee. And again, big breath in to find the length through the sides. Exhaling to sink a little bit more. Beautiful. Hands to heart center, revolving crescent lunge. Again, elbow comes down to the knee. Nice steady breaths to create this space, to allow a bit of a deeper twist. You have 2 more. Go ahead and open up those arms if you did it on the other side, balancing ourselves out here. Good. Come on back to center, crescent lunge. And warrior 2, drop the back ankle. Again, if you need that first moment to straighten that knee out and give yourself a cleansing breath, do that. Give yourself that. And now we're ready. Go ahead and sink nice and deep into your warrior. And again, inhaling to find the length, maybe to raise those hands a bit more. Exhaling to sink nice and deep into that knee. Extended side angle. Hand can come down to a block, can come down to your shin, wherever you're at. Nice steady breaths to open up, to be present right here and now in what's happening. Both hands to the mat, chaturanga. Flowing through upward facing dog. Again, big inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhaling it back, letting it all go. We have 2 breaths here. Fill up. Let it go. Good. Last one. Fill up. Exhale and move forward. Halfway lift. Fold. Thunderbolt. Inhale, arms up. Sit way on back. And we'll do that same breath work. So we'll inhale to find the length in the spine. Exhale to sit down even deeper into your thunderbolt. Allowing that weight of that exhale to sink you deeper. Hands to heart center, twist to the right. Thunderbolt prayer twist. Once you're here, you're at mind's eye, just to check in with those hips. So our knee likes to peel way out in front of the other. Just working to press that back to level off the hips. You have 1 more breath here. Fill up, fully twist. Exhale back onto center. Sit nice and deep and fold. Fingers to toes, forward fold. Wrap your pointer and middle finger around your big toe. You can take your feet wide on the mat. Here's a chance to find that fun, to find that wiggling side to side. Maybe some bend in the knee to play around with how that feels on your sit bones. Take this moment to get curious with what's possible in this just simple forward fold. Staying with your breath, that helps to create some space in that back leg, maybe some space in between the vertebrae here. Beautiful. Release on out, halfway lift. Fold, let it go. Thunderbolt, inhale, arms up. Again, sit way on deep, right where we were. Meet yourself there. Big breath in to find your length, and exhale to sink deep. Hands to heart center, twist to the left. As you're here working with your Ujjayi breath to create the space to stay nice and present in this not so pleasant pose, right? We're here now doing the work. Open up those arms if you did on the other side. Beautiful. 1 more breath. Big inhale. Exhale back to center. Sit nice and deep. This is it. Fold. Let it go. Palms to toes. Forward fold. Really wrap those feet, hands up underneath your feet. You can take them nice and wide on the mat, allowing bend in the knee so that you can access this fold. You don't want to miss it. It's a big, nice, deep fold that you're putting work in to get it. Allow some wiggle side to side in the hips. Beautiful. Release on out, crow pose. Hands are down on the mat. Or you're moving into a goddess squat, allowing on those backs of your arms to come into the legs, wherever you're at. Nice steady breaths to open up to help pull into center line as we begin to work with crow. Chaturanga, feet go back, flowing through upward facing dog. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale it back. 1 breath here, fill up, let it go. I lied, 1 more, fill up. Exhale and move forward. I felt we needed that 1 cleansing breath. Halfway lift, fold. Eagle right side, inhale on up. Right arm under, right leg over. Great option to take it on your back. Or if the legs aren't working today, you can go and find yourself in a kickstand wherever you're at. However your eagle looks. Nice steady breaths here. Good. Go ahead and release on out. Eagle, left side. You can find a big breath in, and on your exhale, left arm under, left leg over. Great gazes, nice and locked on one thing. How hearing that steady Ujjayi breath to help sink in. Beautiful. Release on out. Eagle, right side again. Right arm under, right leg over. Nice steady breath, allowing you to sit deep. And this time playing around with it. So raising those hands up a bit higher, seeing how that feels, or maybe it's bringing them down lower. Play around with the distance and the space that your hands are taking up. Get curious with it. Beautiful. Some bends happening. Amazing. Go ahead, release on out. Big breath in. Eagle, left side, left arm under, left leg over. And your nice steady breath, allowing you to sit in deep, allowing your body to take this crazy shape. Opportunity to play around, raise those hands a bit higher. We did a bend on the other side, doing it here. Good. Go ahead and release on out. Big breath. You can give yourself an extended mountain. Exhale back on down. Standing leg raise, right side. Finding a gaze point, one thing to lock onto. Use of a strap, or you can grab your foot, or if we're reaching, or knee rather, and then if you're reaching for your toe, wherever you're at, standing leg raise. Just a moment to make sure we're standing up nice and tall. So bringing our chest wide, rolling those shoulders onto your back. Open up to the side. Gaze goes the opposite way. A few nice and steady breaths, opening up our hip. Finding this length here. Good. Come on back to center. Big breath in. Airplane. Send it straight back. Palms facing down. Lots of action in that back lifted foot. So if I were to come press against you, you'd press back, working all 5 toes down towards the mat. You have 2 more breaths here to play around with it. See what's possible. It's okay to fall out. That means you're trying something new. You're welcoming the unknown, the uncomfortable. Half moon. Slowly open up to the side, allowing yourself that visual first. And then slowly working to stack the hips. Beautiful. I see some people reaching back, grabbing that foot, trying on something new. Good. Go ahead and release on down. Again, we'll come to the front of your mat. Give yourself a Tadasana, a moment to reset, get regrounded here now. And now we're ready for the left side. Standing leg raise, the left side. Bring that left leg on up. Again, wherever you're at, whether it's a strap, holding onto the knee, grabbing the toe. Moment first to make sure we're standing up nice and tall. Roll those shoulders onto the back, big open chest. Then open up to the side. Gaze goes the opposite way. A few breaths here. Good. Come on back to center. Big breath in. Airplane. Exhale that foot back. Palms facing down. Hands to the side. And as you're here, playing around with those forms. So working to press all 5 toes straight down towards the mat. A few breaths to open up the chest. Being curious with what's possible here today. Have fun with it. Find the wiggles and the shakes. Hands to heart center, half moon. Open on up to the side. Again, no need to rush. Allow yourself to gently go into it. Maybe hand comes to a block or the mat, or maybe it's stay at prayer center. If you reach for that foot on the other side, go ahead and do that. Try that out. See what's possible here today. You might surprise yourself, trick yourself. Good. Release on down. We'll come back to standing on our mat again. A big breath in to get regrounded. And let it go. Dancer right side. Reach back, grab the inside of that ankle. The use of a strap is beneficial here as well. But wherever you're at, dancer, go ahead and sink in, pressing that foot straight back, creating this tug of war between the shoulder and the shin. And showing up for yourself here and now might just be good and plenty. You might be able to press back a little bit more as you work with it. Good. Release on down. Dancer left side. Reaching back, grabbing the inside of that left ankle. Nice steady breaths. Be patient with yourself. Check in those hips. This might be good and plenty in the hamstring. But if not, play around with it. You can send the hand in front of you, gaze straight out. And allow that shin to kick back, opening up the chest. Good. Release on down. We have dancer right side again. Just 3 quick breaths here to play around. Just see what's possible. We'll reach back, grab the inside of that right ankle. And allow yourself to kick back. 3 steady breaths. Nice and powerful, allowing you to kick back. Yeah, allowing you to wiggle out to play with that edge point. Beautiful. Release down. Dancer left side. Last chance. Last opportunity on dancer left side here and now. Grab that ankle and allow yourself to sink in. 3 steady breaths. Good. On your third, go ahead and release on down. Again, a moment to get grounded. Tree right side. Bringing the foot anywhere but the inside of the knee. So either kickstand or inside of your shin or coming to the inside of your thigh, wherever you're at. Growing your arms however comfortable for you. We have 3 steady breaths here. Chance to feel big and grounded, big, beautiful trees. Good. Go ahead and release on down. Tree left side. Again, foot goes anywhere but the inside of our knee. We want to help protect our joints here. Finding a different variation with your arms, maybe a bind behind the back, maybe it's goalpost arms. Wherever you're at, again, we have 3 nice, powerful breaths to fuel and take care of our bodies here in tree pose. Good. Go ahead and release on down. We'll come to standing at our mat. Extended mountain. Big breath in. Gaze goes up. Best one of practice. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, hands to mat. Flowing through upward facing dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale it back. Right foot forward. Triangle pose. As you're here, we're looking for that front foot to get lined up with the middle of our back foot. Perfect. Straight out on 12 o'clock. Allowing your hands to open wide and then hinging forward at the hip. So hand can come down to a block behind your foot. Maybe you're on the shin. Wherever you're at, nice steady breath as we begin to open up the hips. Working to peel that chest open to the side. Good. You have 2 more here to open up. Maybe the gaze goes up towards that hand as you begin to open up fully here. Good. Come on back up to standing. Side facing wide leg forward fold. Toes go to the long edge of the mat. Allowing your feet to stay wide. Big breath in to find your length. And exhale to hinge forward. For this first one, finding some movement in the hips. Maybe it's a slight side to side, or maybe you're finding a deep lunge from the left to right. Wherever you're at, just getting playful in this forward fold. Lots of action happening here in what sometimes seems like an easier pose. Allow yourself to play around, to get curious. Good. If you had those lunges, come on back to stillness and back up to standing, using that core to rise on up. Namaste, front facing forward fold, or if you're working in splits, you can go ahead and into that as well. Namaste, front facing forward fold. We'll keep our feet wide, one on either sides of the train track or either side of your mat. Hands can go back behind you in namaste hands, or a good self-assist is keeping them on those hips to make sure they stay nice and level as we begin to hinge forward. Allow some bend in your knee so you can get equal pressure through both feet here. A few more breaths. Again, inhaling to find the length in the spine, exhaling to fold down a little bit more, welcoming this opportunity of stretching those muscles. Not so much the bones, really working to stretch those muscles. Twisting triangle, left hand comes down. It can come down to a block, it can come down to your mat. If you want to block, there you are. Opening up nice and wide. You have 2 more breaths here. Maybe that gaze begins to go out towards those fingers. And again, only allowing that hand to go up as high as you feel. Good. Both hands to the mat, chaturanga. Flowing through upward facing dog. Big inhale. Downward facing dog. Big exhale to let it all go. We have 2 more here. Fill up. Side out. Good. 1 big breath in. Big sigh out. Left foot forward, triangle pose. Time to balance ourselves out. Again, welcoming space up on the mat. So maybe once that front foot lands, you inch it forward just a bit. Our minds like to trick us, like to limit us, when our bodies can really do a little bit more. Wherever you're at, nice steady breaths to allow yourself to sink into the pose. Our breath's working to create the space to ease maybe some of the tension that first shows up, some of that resistance. Good. You have 2 more breaths here to open up. Take full advantage of here and now. Good. Come on back up to center. Side facing wide leg forward fold. Toes go to the long edge of the mat. This time either reaching back for a bind behind your back. Maybe it's hands at the lower neck. Allow yourself to bend forward. Use of a towel to access that bind is beneficial here as well, or maybe a band. Again, a moment to check in with yourself. Do what your body's telling you. A great time to use your breath to check in, to create a little bit more space, to play around with it. Let those hands bounce a little bit. Maybe those hips have a little bit of movement. Beautiful. Gently come on back up to stand. Using that core to rise on up. Namaste, front facing forward fold. Or if you did splits on the other side, go ahead and do splits on this side as well. Again, we're looking for feet wide on the mat, 1 on either side. Giving yourself that big breath in, and then hinging forward. And long inhales to find the length in the spine, and exhale to fold a little bit more. Those fiery breaths, sending energy and warmth to our muscles so that they can stretch, so that we can access what's going on. Twisting triangle, hand can come down to a block or your mat, wherever you're at. Beautiful. Big breath as you begin to open on up. Again, that hand doesn't have to go all the way up to the ceiling. Wherever you feel it, that's where you're at. Both hands to the mat, chaturanga, flowing through upward facing dog. Again, a big inhale, downward facing dog. Big exhale to cleanse it out. We have 2 more here. Fill up, let it go. Last one, fill up and let it go. Good. We'll come out to a high plank position. Rolling out. Once we're here, shoulders stacked over wrist, a chance to check in. We're pressing through the 10 fingers, not 5. We're pressing through all 10 fingers, that palm of the hand, and slowly lower all the way down onto your mat. Once you're here, sending those hands straight back behind you. Locust number 1, go ahead and lift up. Having that gaze going straight down in front of us so that we can keep this length in our spine, including that back of our neck. Nice long line happening in our back body. Go ahead and lower all the way down. Rock those feet side to side. Sending our hands straight out in front of us. And go ahead and lift on up. Same action happening in locust, but we have those hands out in front of us. A new way to try on this pose, accessing some new muscles. Maybe it feels better. Maybe it's totally worse. Wherever you're at, we're here now doing it. Good. Lower all the way down. Rock those feet side to side. Floor bows are next. We will do 2, so you can do 1 at a time. Or reaching back, grabbing both of those ankles. And go ahead and lift on up. Floor bow number 1. Again, staying nice and steady with our breath. As we get into this igniting sequence, our Ujjayi breath is helping to power us, helping to motivate you. Good. Carefully release your feet. Lower all the way down. Rock those feet side to side. Release that lower back out. Good. Back to stillness. Floor bow number 2. Reach back, grab those ankles, and lift on up. Floor bow number 2. Nice and steady breaths that begin to help peel the chest up off. Help play around with it. A big old smile in our floor bow. Good. Release your feet. Lower all the way down. Rock them side to side. We'll take our fingertips wide at our shoulders, find some baby cobras. So inhale up and exhale down. Good. 3 more like that. Inhale up and down. Just creating some space. Come on up and that lower back down. Last one. Inhale up and back down. Hands to the lower ribs, upward facing dog. Big breath in, best one of practice. Downward facing dog, send it back. Camel, come back on down to our knees. Allowing yourself to reach up and back, either for the back pockets or reaching back for the ankles, wherever you're at. Nice steady breaths to begin to open up our chest. Looking to keep this long line in the back as well. Good. Carefully release up and out of camel. A moment to reset. Get regrounded. And camel number 2. We are ready. Reaching up and back into that camel. Our chest opening up wide. This igniting from center, reaching on out, bursting out of our chest. Beautiful. Carefully release on out. Again, a moment to just reset. Bridge pose. Go ahead and swing those feet around, coming back on down onto your back. As you're here, looking for feet on 12 o'clock. We'll go ahead and lift on up. Bridge number 1. You can shimmy your shoulders up underneath. to build and feel this foundation that you're creating, not only in the feet that are being pressed into the mat, but also through those shoulders. Up underneath your body, you can reach to clasp your hands, just playing around with it. They might not fully get there. Good. We have 3 more breaths here to find your full expression, to really lift that pelvis up, to acknowledge the foundation in both the shoulders and feet. Good. Go ahead and lower all the way down. What's next are 6 bridges or wheels, wherever you're at, or a combination of both. Place those hands behind you. Wheel number 1, go ahead, inhale, lift on up, bridge or wheel wherever you're at. Nice strong impression. We'll hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Tuck your chin, lower all the way down. Give yourself a powerful breath to reset. Wheel number 2, go ahead, inhale, lift on up, bridge or wheel. Again, hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tuck your chin, lower all the way down. Again, a breath to reset, nice and powerful. And wheel number 3, go ahead, inhale, lift on up. In bridge, we're working to press those thighs together. A block is a great assistant there to check in. Good. Tuck your chin, lower all the way down. We're more than halfway done. Breath to reset. Wheel number 4, go ahead, inhale, lift on up, nice and strong. In bridge, playing around with lifting that foot. Maybe it's just lifting the ankle. Just play around with it. Good. Tuck your chin, lower down. A breath to reset. Wheel number 5, go ahead, inhale, lift on up, bridge or wheel, hold it for 5, 4, beautiful, 2, and 1. Tuck your chin, lower all the way down. I saw that leg in the air. A breath to reset. Our last wheel, go ahead, inhale, lift on up. You have it for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tuck your chin, lower all the way down. Amazing. Supta Konasana, soles of your feet together. Let those knees go wide. A moment to acknowledge yourself for the work you just put in, for that peak of the practice. But we're not done yet. Dead bug, happy baby. Go ahead, grab your feet, let your knees go wide. You can stay still for dead bug, rock side to side for happy baby. Feeling that lower back getting pressed into the mat. Good. Send both feet straight up towards the ceiling. Nice and flexed ankles here, like you were holding a box above your head or you were going to walk on the ceiling. You can place your hands up underneath your sit bones for a bit more lower back support. Big breath in. Exhale the right leg down. Good. Inhale it back up. And exhale the left down. Good. Inhale back up and move into your scissor legs. Staying with these nice flexed feet and also staying with the breath and movement connection. So however that looks for you, staying true to those 2 things. That's what we're focusing on. So yeah, lots of action happening in the core. We're going to put that to the side. We're going to focus on our nice flexed feet, nice controlled movement with the breath. Absolutely amazing. Do it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both feet straight up. You can give yourself a big old tight squeeze here. A moment to reset. Beautiful. Both feet go straight up towards the ceiling. Again, a big breath in. Exhale down 30 degrees. Your version of 30. Big breath in. Exhale down to 60. Good. Big breath in. Exhale down to hover. Hold it here. Nice flexed feet. Nice strong action happening. Send them straight back up. Again, a breath to reset. Good. We'll reset. Big breath in. Exhale down 30. Breath in. Exhale down 60. Breath in. Exhale down to hover. You can flutter kick here, finding that movement, that back and forth. Send it straight back up. Again, a breath to reset, to cleanse it out. It's our last one. Big breath in. Exhale down 30. Good. Breath in. Exhale down 60. Breath in. Exhale down to hover. You can pendulum side to side here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Send them straight back up. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big old squeeze of acknowledgement. Halfway through stability, you got this. Abdominal twist our next. Hands go behind the ears. Shoulders go wide. A moment to first stack those hips or knees over the hips. Find a nice flexion in the foot. And you can go ahead and begin your twist. So opposite elbow to opposite knee. Really working to press that foot away. Beautiful, like you're kicking something away with each extension of the leg. Abdominal twist coming back. So we have our flexed feet. Now matching that breath and movement as you twist, exhale it out, inhale back into center. You have it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Hug your knees into your chest. Rock and roll on your spine 3 times and we'll meet in boat pose. Giving yourself that little back massage on the mat. Not that you ever have to earn a massage, but you definitely have so far here today. However your boat looks, maybe it's feet on the ground and we're working with our chest to open up wide. Maybe you begin to play around with lifting a foot. Or maybe you have legs straight out. Wherever you're at, nice and strong in our boat, we have it for 5 breaths. Open up your chest wide. Staying nice and strong and present here in this not so pleasant pose. You're doing it. We're here. You have 1 more breath. Beautiful. Hug your knees in. Give yourself a big, tight squeeze. And set up for half pigeon on the right. However that looks for you. Maybe you're headed into downward dog. Maybe you're taking half pigeon on your back. Wherever you're at. Nice, steady breaths here. Our Ujjayi breath working to clear the space. Our hips like to carry a lot, like to store a lot of stuff. So it takes a little bit more effort to get into them, right? It takes a little bit more effort for them to feel okay. And this pose can take on lots of variations. So maybe there's a block under the hip to help support that. Maybe it's a block under the forehead. You have 5 more breaths here to sink in. Good. Go ahead and kick on back to downward dog. Or just swing your leg around for half pigeon on the left. Again, that grace and ease at first to allow your body to get used to it on this left side. So there's probably going to be a little bit more tension, a little bit more resistance than what we were just feeling. That's okay. It's a brand new side. It's a brand new pose, essentially. Use your breaths to get there, to open up, to clear the space. Good. Again, you have 5 breaths left to take full advantage. Make them really good. Allowing yourself to sink in. Good. Gently release out. We'll set up for double pigeon on the right side. So swing that leg around. You can take a moment to first cradle that leg, create a little bit of space, a little bit of movement in the hips. Clear out maybe some of the cobwebs you just opened up. And then working to stack those shins. This pose takes on lots of different variations, lots of different options. Our bodies are so different. Good variation happening there with the foot up on the leg. You can also use a block underneath the feet, underneath your knees. Big breath in to sit up nice and tall. And then what might be possible is a hinging forward as you exhale. This could be good and plenty, though. Again, a moment to check in and show up for yourself. You know your body best. So get curious and see what feels good. We have 3 more breaths here to open up the hips to be present in this double pigeon. Good. Gently go ahead and release on out, and we'll set up for the other side. Again, you can give it a moment. You can hold and cradle that leg in, give it some movement, and then go ahead and stack yourself up. Inhale to sit up nice and tall, and then maybe you exhale and hinge forward. Again, wherever you're at, working with our breath. For some, it's easier to work with your breath in these types of poses, and some it's easier when we're in the sun bees. Breath is equally important through the whole practice. Good. Gently release on out, frog pose, bringing our hips, feet, and ankles all to 90 degrees. You can take this pose on the wall or coming down onto your mat. Again, looking for hips, feet, and ankles to all be at 90. A moment first to acknowledge that this pose can be pretty uncomfortable. It can send a lot of red flags to our brain. But use your breath to allow yourself to sink in. Yeah, so hips, feet, and ankle all at 90 degrees. Beautiful. Allowing those feet maybe to crawl out a little bit more. Yes, nice steady breaths. You can place a block underneath your forehead to give you some more comfort. Sometimes that takes it all, and it makes it that I'm able to stay here. Nice steady breaths in your frog. New kind of power can emerge from this vulnerable pose, from getting into it and being here. Nice steady breaths to open up. We put a lot of work into our hips. Here's the chance to cash it in. That work doesn't go to waste. You have 3 more breaths here to open up. Send those breaths to those hips. Good. Gently come on out. There's no real graceful way. Just be careful. Take care of your body to get out of it. And we'll set up for a seated single leg extension on the right side. Once you're on your mat, a chance to send that foot straight out. A big breath in to sit up nice and tall. Maybe you wiggle those sit bones back. And then an exhale to come on down to that foot. A use of a strap to get down there. Maybe some bend in your knee. Play around with how that feels, bending and straightening the leg. You might feel a bit of a different release, maybe in the backs of the legs or maybe your spine. We have 2 more breaths here. Again, inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to bend and fold a little bit more. 1 more. Good. Come on back to center and we'll switch sides. Seated single leg extension on the left. Big breath in to sit up tall. And an exhale to hinge down forward. You can bring that right hand to the outside of that left foot to pull it back. Allowing bend in the knee. Good, powerful Ujjayi breaths to do the work. Good. Come on back into center. Seated forward fold. Both feet straight out in front of us. Big breath in to sit up tall. Wiggle those sit bones back behind you. Big exhale to fold forward. Again, allowing bend in the knee so that we can fold deep into our sit bones. Nice steady breaths to fold, to access this rejuvenation that's now happening. This release in the spine and the backs of the legs. You have 2 more breaths here. Good. Release out. Tabletop or reverse plank, sending the fingertips towards the body and either coming up for reverse plank or coming up to a tabletop. Wherever you're at, letting the chest open nice and wide here. Good. Lower all the way down. Fish pose. Bringing the block between the shoulder blades long way or using your arms. Would you like a block? No? All right. You can use your arms to open up wide. This pose working here to open up our chest. Gravity now working with us to open up the shoulders and to get nice and open. Get nice and gently remove the block from under you. Roll over to your side. We'll move on to rejuvenation. So either a handstand, a headstand, a shoulder stance, maybe a block under your hips. However you're working to get your hips above your heart. So again, that can be a block underneath. It can be legs up the wall. But I encourage you to try it out. If inversions are something that you're playing around with it, here's the time. Let it be sloppy. Let it be messy. Just work with it. Let it not be perfect. This rejuvenation part of practice, super important, but very easy to just breeze right through, breeze right past. This is our chance to recycle any of that tension that we release, to recycle and circle out the blood that's pumping from our feet. It's not often that our feet are above our head, right? Shoulder stands can come to plow, allowing that massive stretch through the spine. Plow to deaf man's pose. And from there, slowly rolling all the way out to your back. Hug your knees into your chest. One final squeeze here. And supine twist to the right, knees to the right, gaze out to the left. breath beginning to settle here, but it's working to allow this stretch to happen. So just like all the other ones, it doesn't happen right away. Nice steady work as that lower back begins to release. Working to keep both shoulders pressing into the mat. You can come on back to center and supine twist to the left. You can give yourself that squeeze and then allow your knees to go to the left. Gaze over to the right. And these first few moments to just allow your body to know what's going on. No need to rush, but we'll allow our bodies to sink into the pose. You can come on back to center, Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of your feet together, knees go wide. There's a cool eye towel near your head if you would like to take advantage of that. Shavasana. Sit up nice and comfortably on your mat, however that looks for you. Allow your feet to fall heavy, your shoulders to accept the weight of gravity. Discovering the power of vulnerability. A new kind of power will emerge from vulnerability. The more honest we are with ourselves about how we feel and what we really think, the more power we will have. We may have once thought that being powerful meant not giving in to what we feel or what we think or who we really are. But that attitude won't garner power for us. The sooner we become honest with ourselves, the sooner we can become honest with others. The sooner we become honest with ourselves, the more quickly we'll grow and move on to a new place. Become vulnerable, at least just with yourself. Be honest about what you think. Be honest about how you feel. Write it. Speak it. Feel it. Then release it. Only then you will know where to go and when to go. What you are to do next will naturally, quietly, and clearly emerge. Try being absolutely honest with yourself. Reveal in yourself your most private feelings. This is a new kind of power, a different kind of power. This is the power of opening the heart. Nice and gently, you can wiggle out your fingers and toes, maybe giving them a tight squeeze. Allow your wrists and ankles to roll out, bend in your knees and elbows. Maybe finding a full body stretch here on your mat, whatever feels good. Gently roll over to your side. A moment here, forehead on the mat, to harness that power, to discover the power that vulnerability holds for us. Maybe finding an intention or setting that intention here and now. Nice and gently come up to a seated position on your mat, however is comfortable for you. Eyes under closed. Big breath in, arms up overhead. One final extended mountain here. Exhale, hands down to heart center, and we'll end class as we began with 3 ohms. Big breath in. Hands to forehead center. Thank you all for being vulnerable here today. Namaste. Thank you all so much. Have an absolutely wonderful rest of your Friday afternoon. If you need a bingo card, I would be more than happy to get you one. If you have one and it's in the bottom of your yoga bag, crawl it out. There are lots of ones that you can check off here today. Thank you all so much.